And welcome back to the Captain's Vlog channel. My name is Sean. I'll be your captain for today. We are coming back with another video on Would You Survive a Day Here? This time in the Impossible Fortress of Tzeentch in the realm of chaos of Warhammer. And this is another video by the Book of Choyer. We're going to do 4 of these so far. We've done 2 already. We've done the one for Nurgle first. We've done the one for Khorne. And this is the one for Tzeentch. And after this, we'll be doing a one for Slaanesh as well. These videos are meant to be a bit of an introduction for beginners to know about the different realms of these chaos gods, maybe to get them a little bit familiar with them and what they're like, give them their flavor, and for veterans who are interested in seeing their lore, that what they understand seen in a different perspective. Please, if you enjoy the video, like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below if you're a beginner or if you're new and have any questions, or if you're a veteran and you'd like to correct a few things or to give your own perspectives about it. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
I have no idea how I ended up in this place. One moment, I was standing on familiar ground, and the next I was plunged into a world that defies all logic and reason. The air itself feels strange, heavy with a scent that shifts from sweet to putrid with every breath. I can't even be sure how much time has passed since my arrival. Minutes stretch into hours, then contract into mere seconds.
The staff is ours. We will not be blinded to fate by your petty context.
There is nothing in all of creation that does not evolve and change.
Hold up. Look at that sky. This looks dope. I mean, even these dudes flying around, I think they're, what was it, flamers or something? They shoot flames out of their hands, if you can see them right there. These are their hands. They got little like claw mouths there. I think they shoot flames out of there, and these flames are supposed to, instead of just burning you, they like just warp you and change you, like kind of like on the spot mutation, kind of gnarly. Again, guys, I am no expert in all things Warhammer. I am just here to learn with you guys and let the beginners know what I have learned so far over the years, and for veterans to give their own perspectives and corrections wherever they see fit. This looks dope. This, I'm pretty sure, is from Total War Warhammer. Haven't seen these scenes yet, but I really like it so far. Probably out of the 2 Chaos Gods we've seen so far, this place looks a lot more inhabitable, just based on the scenery from what I can see, just the sky right now, but damn.
No civilization forever endures
Except
the
for that.
machinations of its rivals. No king indefinitely survives the plotting of his enemies. No life avoids the endless cycle of change. Almost all of those aware of their lives crave and yearn for a transformation, a change which echoes the collapse of all order into disorder through relentless evolution. Many strive to embrace such a destiny and are willing to perform any deed or suffer any woe.
Kairos the Fate Weaver. A lot of change. 2 heads. Very different from the guys with only 1 head. This guy can only see, 1 head sees the future, 1 head sees the past. They can't see what's happening in the present. And they're both blind, so they can't even cheat. Quite interesting, quite powerful. He was thrown into a hole even a god could not fathom. A god of knowing shit. Tzeentch, he knows a lot of stuff. He's the most eldritch of the gods. I don't know if it's cosmic horror is the right word for this, but kind of like that. And these guys all work for him, and he just doesn't know what's happening in that little hole he dropped this guy into. So he's like, you know what? Let me just keep dropping guys in there to see what happens. And then none came back except for Kairos. And he came back with the extra head, blind, and can see the past and the future. Even the God of Change just keeps him as like an advisor, or basically like another right hand to advise him of what's going to happen and what has happened and stuff like that. So kind of interesting. And Tzeentch is also known to be a lot about knowledge, knowing things, sorcery, change, warping. So far, this may almost be a place I can stay in. I know what I said before. but there's a lot of freaky stuff in here that I kind of forgot. You know, Eldritch, Cosmic Horror. Let's just see how much Cosmic Horror there is before I can say if I can live here or if I'm gonna be turned into something jelly-like later. Let's
to
go.
keep stagnation from their door. If only for just one more day. This is perhaps futile, but it may attract the attention of one who represents both chaos and the struggle against it that typifies all life. For wherever there is life, there is change. And where there is change, there is Tzeentch. For a
Constant
normal human,
flux.
the prospect of surviving even a single day in the realm of Tzeentch would be a daunting challenge, to say the least.
Okay, one thing. One thing I don't like about Tzeentch is that he trolls. Sometimes he takes a guy who's really working against him and then just gives him stuff. Like just lets him get himself boosted, helps him out. Nobody knows why. And sometimes for the guys who are really faithful to him and just work for him, sometimes he just throws into the gutter. Like he just lets bad things happen to them. Maybe like the Lords of Change he dumped into the hole to see what'll happen. He's like a DM that just trolls when he's playing D&D, you know? And just messing with you. So that's why it's like, this could be a really good place. Like if you're into D&D and you know wizard stuff, this is the wizard place, man. He's the god of wizards. And if the wizard god trolls, hey, how you gonna wizard? Anyway, let's see what else they have to say. They already said that it's gonna be hard to survive. Let's find out why.
The very nature of this chaotic domain is antithetical to the human experience, and the constant flux of reality would be overwhelming to most beings.
Crystal Labyrinth,
The
that's his
realm of
place.
Tzeentch assaults the senses with its ever-changing landscape and bizarre phenomena. The crystal labyrinth, located within the realm of the sorcerer, or the realm of Tzeentch as it is often called, with its iridescent pathways and floating islands, are a mesmerizing sight to any who stare upon it. But the constant shifting of the environment would quickly disorient and unsettle a human visitor.
See, it shifts. That's the problem.
The air, thick with arcane energy, crackles with power, and the echoes of laughter and steaming fill the atmosphere, creating a sense of unease and paranoia. The human mind, accustomed to the relative stability of the mortal realm, would struggle to process the constant changes and the defiance of natural laws. The fluid nature of time and space would be particularly disorienting, as one's sense of temporal and spatial awareness will be thrown into absolute chaos, with nothing to hold on to, no reference, no way of knowing where and when they are in terms of their own pure existence.
Look
This
at
sensory
that.
overload would likely lead to confusion, disorientation, and even total panic, making it difficult for a human to navigate the realm and find a safe haven within it.
So it's hard to navigate. If I had to find a safe spot.
The fabric of reality bends and twists in the realm of Tzeentch, reflecting the chaotic character of the Chaos God. Observers, priests, and interpreters have concluded that at the heart of this realm lies an iridescent expanse that some say rivals the vastness of Khorne's blood-soaked citadel. This crystalline plateau shimmers with a kaleidoscope of colors, casting a brilliant light that starkly contrasts with the crimson wastelands of the Blood God.
Ooh, I see a tentacle up there screaming cosmic horror to me right now.
The labyrinth that can be found there is not merely a backdrop. It is alive, pulsing with the energy of countless arcane secrets and the whispers of ancient sorcery.
Oh, hold up. Those are eyes in the sky. I thought that was just like a nebula star or something. Those are freaking eyes. Wow.
Though not just anyone can find and then enter the crystal labyrinth and the impossible fortress that seems to float above it.
So he's in the
Nobody
impossible
can
fortress. The crystal labyrinth is just below it. Okay.
leave these halls of limitless possibilities without losing their sanity.
Many
Every
eyes.
step in this realm is heavy with dashed hopes, and broken pieces of personalities shimmer in the light everywhere. The realm of Tzeentch is a place of intrigue, manipulation, and betrayal, where ambition and cunning are the keys to survival. For a human, the constant threat of danger and the need to constantly adapt to new situations would be a significant psychological strain. The realization that reality itself is malleable and that the very ground beneath one's feet could shift at any moment would be a terrifying prospect, shattering the human sense of security and control.
So he's literally the opposite of Nurgle, where everything is steady but decaying, dying, and painful, and you will be made to live forever here. It could kill you on a whim, simply because nothing stays the same. Weird stuff happens, blue things running in blue grass, you never know. Things betray you very easily here. That's the annoying part. Can't trust anything because allegiances change. It's the place of change. Everything's changing. Nothing's the same. The labyrinth will shift. Your obstacles will shift. Your challenges will change. And then you're left with a new problem to solve. And then maybe you get a different problem before you even solve the first problem.
Moreover, the realm's inhabitants, including Tzeentch's followers and demons, pose a significant threat to any human visitor. These beings are driven by their own agendas, and are often engaged in complex schemes and plots. Any mortal man lacking the supernatural abilities and resilience of these entities is already at a severe disadvantage in this place, constantly at risk of being manipulated, betrayed, or outright destroyed by the
There you
realm's
go.
denizens.
Let the games begin.
Ugh.
The landscape around me is a nightmare of constant change. Mountains rise and fall like the swell of an ocean. Forests appear and vanish in the blink of an eye. And rivers flow both forward and backwards. The very ground beneath my feet pulses and shifts as if it's alive and aware of my presence. I feel like I'm walking on the surface of a living, breathing entity. Everywhere I look, colors change, blending into one another in an endless dance. What once a clear sky turns into a swirling vortex of hues that make my head spin. Buildings rise from the earth, their architecture bending and twisting in ways that should be impossible. I've seen structures that defy gravity, floating in the air, and others that melt like wax, only to solidify again into new, grotesque forms. The creatures here are no less bizarre. I have glimpsed things that defy description. Beings with too many eyes or limbs, shifting and morphing as they move.
Hey guys, if this rings Eldritch Cosmic Horror to you, let me know in the comments, cause damn, I am feeling it right now. And I like Eldritch Cosmic Horror, which is pretty cool. So this is kind of gelling with me, even though it's messed up. And you get to use magic on top of everything, so it's kind of cool. So, if you guys won't have any questions, just drop it down there. If you have any corrections, drop it down there too.
They whisper in languages I cannot understand. Their voices echoing in my mind long after they've passed. Each step I take is accompanied by a sense of growing dread, as if the very air itself is pressing down on me, trying to crush my spirit.
Is that the Impossible Fortress? The thing this is moving around here? This thing underneath this whole. This actually looks like the outline of the symbol of Tzeentch. Like he's got an emblem that kind of looks like this. Kind of inverted actually right now. Maybe I'm looking at it from the front or the back. Maybe it just decided to change how it looks. Maybe it's turning too. I don't know. Seen some floating eyeballs, but maybe this is the Impossible Fortress. Maybe. It's floating, it's turning. Let's have a look.
Then, in the distance, I see it. Fortress of impossible proportions.
Yep,
Its
that is.
size and shape are in constant flux, shifting from towering spires to sprawling battlements in the blink of an eye.
It
One
goes
moment
in.
it appears close, almost within reach. The next it seems miles away, an ever-receding goal. I have no choice but to move towards it, driven by the hope that it might offer some answers, some escape from this madness.
The Impossible Fortress, the sanctum of Tzeentch, lies at the heart of this ever-shifting reality. Its maddening spires, gates, and walls are in constant flux, shifting and reforming with each passing moment. Gravity shifts and disappears, while lights of every color imaginable spring from the twisting corridors. Its architecture is a blend of maddening complexity and surreal beauty, with impossible angles and structures that defy gravity.
So we can calibrate real space to witness the vast fractals of existence once more.
The labyrinths within the fortress and the realm of the sorcerer may lack demonic guardians, but they are no less perilous for those who dare to navigate them. These countless passageways test the very essence of one's willpower, as the walls of the glass maze do not merely reflect light, but also the deepest facets of the mind. Hope, despair, dreams, lunacy, and horror. The maze itself is a living entity, constantly shifting and reconfiguring its pathways. There is no predetermined route to follow. Instead, Tzeentch's subconscious mind orchestrates an ever-evolving maze of barriers and traps, making each journey a uniquely treacherous ordeal.
So, in other words, it's basically pointless to enter this place unless Tzeentch is on your side and wants you to reach him. Because he's just going to make you go in circles and circles. And not even circles, he'll just make you go in a freaking hexagonal pattern. Maybe a pentagonal pattern, who knows? He'll just make a new shape, maybe. And just have you go all around it, inside and outside. Just getting messed up with every freaking crap he can think of. And this is subconscious? So that means, yeah, if he doesn't bring you to him, you are not getting to him, is basically what they're saying. So going into the Impossible Fortress is pointless unless he wants you to be where he wants you to be. Just saying. Let's see what else this thing does.
For a simple human, the journey through the Impossible Fortress is a harrowing ordeal that assaults the mind, body, and soul.
Minions, go forth, die the inevitable.
The psychological toll is immense, as the constantly changing environments erodes any sense of reality or stability. The walls themselves seem to whisper secrets and lies, filling the mind with doubt and paranoia. Dreams and nightmares bleed into waking moments, making it difficult to distinguish what is real and what is illusion. The fortress's reflective surfaces project the deepest fears and desires of the intruder, magnifying their internal struggles and driving many to the brink of madness. Physically, the force is equally merciless. The shifting pathways often lead to dead ends or trap rooms, filled with arcane hazards and traps designed to test one's endurance and resolve. The labyrinth's ever-changing nature requires constant adaptation and quick reflexes, exhausting the body through relentless trials. The air itself is thick with the energies of raw magic, which can be both invigorating and utterly draining.
I know some of you guys, the gamers, who look at the Impossible Fortress that we just saw now and say, hey, it's clipping through everything. Yeah, it is clipping through everything, because I'm pretty sure in actuality that is exactly what Tzeentch's Impossible Fortress is doing. It's just clipping into everything. They're like, that's impossible. It's not supposed to do that. There's collision. No, it's the Impossible Fortress. Anything goes. I was thinking about that for a while now. I get it's impossible and it's clipping, but is that a thing? Could it be? Most likely, because if it's impossible, then most definitely it looks like that. You see sections disappearing, so it can do the clipping and same motion again. Yeah, probably happens too, but it's probably a lot more chaotic than what's currently shown here. But it's a good representation of it. Like, it's pretty good. Let's keep going.
Sapping strength or inflicting sudden bursts of pain. Spiritually, the fortress is a crucible for the soul. Each step taken within its walls feels like a descent into chaos.
It is.
As the very essence of the place seeks to corrupt and taint the intruder's spirit. The presence of Tzeentch permeates every corner. This spiritual pressure can lead to feelings of hopelessness and despair, as the fortress relentlessly tests one's faith and willpower.
But I gotta say, I really like the colors, man. Come on. You gotta admit, the colors are damn cool. The cyans and the purples and the, what is it called? Ultramarines. Sometimes magenta's thrown in there too. Ooh.
Many who enter the Impossible Fortress are bound to never leave, as it is their destiny. And the ones who do exit, because Tzeentch allows them to, find their souls irreversibly marked by the experience, forever changed by the encounter with incomprehensible eldritch power. Even immortal demons struggle to withstand the twisted horror of the Impossible Fortress, for its very essence defies the laws of time and space. However, the Lords of Change can safely navigate its labyrinthine secrets, guiding the way to the hidden library where Tzeentch himself resides.
So Tzeentch stays in a hidden library inside the Possible Fortress that is easily manageable by the Lords of Change, which are the one-headed versions of this dude. So that means this dude, how does he get through? Oh no, I know how he gets through. He already knows that he manages to get through, and he just probably backtracks. It's like, oh, I don't know where I am right now. Where am I in the future? Did I go left or right? I went right? Okay, so I'm going to go right now. From here, where did I go? Did I go left or right? Okay, I went left. Okay, I'm going left. So that's how he manages it. I don't know how the eye that has, what was it? Precognition? Postcognition? The one that sees the past. I mean, maybe for research sake.
Forever scheming and plotting the next grand transformation. Within this enigmatic stronghold, Tzeentch remains untouched, regardless of his distractions with the great game. Legends and fragmented interpretations of forbidden tomes tell of the other Chaos God's countless minions lost in the attempt to penetrate the fortress throughout millennia. They've never been able to go beyond the first perplexing room of the fortress. It is said that invaders must traverse and survive 100 or more such chambers, each more confounding than the last, to even approach the hidden library and face Tzeentch himself. This impregnable defense has dissuaded even the mightiest of his rivals, as the cost in minions and resources to breach the Impossible Fortress is deemed too great. Thus, Tzeentch continues to weave his intricate plots in the safety of his unfathomable sanctuary. His power and influence ever growing amidst the chaos he so masterfully orchestrates.
He's the definition of a wizard. He can do all the magics. He is in the safest place he possibly can be, which is happens to be a fortress, which looks like a freaking tower. Wizard in a tower, who would have guessed? And he just happens to be able to be the smartest guy in the room. Let's just say if it was a D&D, he'd be the wizard. Khan would be the barbarian. Nurgle might be the druid. He's the closest thing to nature there is, I guess. Plagues and whatnot. Slanesh, bit here or there. Could be bard, maybe sorcerer. Touching on that warlock, maybe. But warlock could also work with Nurgle. Maybe it's a bit of in between. But so far, from the top of my head, that's what it is.
But how can a simple human tread through these halls, through these impossible corridors? Is the answer to embrace the knowledge? To embrace Tzeentch? For Tzeentch is the changer of ways, the great schemer, the architect of fate. He is the embodiment of the endless cycle of evolution that drives all life. The force that propels the universe towards an unknowable destiny. To embrace Tzeentch is to embrace the inevitability of change. To dance to the tune of the Impossible Fortress and its master, the architect of fate.
I don't know how long I've been here, but the time seems to stretch and contract with every step I take. Every turn, I am confronted by choices that offer the tantalizing promise of knowledge and wisdom. Strange tones and cryptic symbols appear before me, whispering secrets that could help me navigate the next riddle. The temptations are overwhelming. And each time I resist, another one presents itself in another disguise. But each time I succumb, I feel a flicker of hope that I might finally find my way out. But it seems that with every answer, the fortress shifts around me, leading me deeper into its labyrinthine depths.
He is also known as an embodiment of hope, Tzeentch, because where change comes change for your problem, as eloquently said by Bricky in the previous videos. So where Nurgle is stagnation, Tzeentch is change, Tzeentch is hope, Nurgle is stability. So what do you want? You want hope or stability? Hope to get out of a problem you're in, stability to keep everything grounded. So that's what's happening with this guy. He ain't grounded, but he's hoping for the way out. It's giving him hope, but it feels a little hopeless in the end, doesn't it?
Walls themselves seem to mock me, reflecting my confusion and desperation. They pulse with an unnatural light, showing glimpses of truths and lies intertwined. I can feel my sanity slipping as I try to discern what is real from what is mere illusion. The answers I seek always seem just out of reach, and each revelation only brings more questions, more riddles to solve. I've lost all sense of direction. What I thought was north now feels like south, and distances seem to expand and contract at random. I feel like I'm trapped in a maze, with walls that move when I'm not looking, leading me deeper into the madness. My desperation grows with each passing moment as I struggle to find something, anything, that remains constant. I can feel my soul being drawn deeper into the heart of the fortress. The air is thick with a sense of foreboding. The very ground seems to shift beneath my feet. My thoughts are no longer my own. They are twisted by the influence of a great changer of ways, the master of this accursed place. I am losing myself, becoming just another pawn in his endless game.
Yep. Ooh, that is what it is. The Well of Eternity.
In
That's
forbidden
where Kairos was dumped in to get his second head, I believe. It sounds very familiar. It sounds like that. I'm betting it's that.
manuscripts and legends lost to time, the Well of Eternity is referred to with reverence and dread.
Ooh.
It is a mystical location that some would say is not only located in the center of Tzeentch's realm, but nestled within the very heart of the warp itself, positioned at the center of all reality. This enigmatic place is where time and space both begin and end.
Shit.
A nexus of creation and dissolution. It is said by some scholars, and even mad remembrancers, that this place contains all the knowledge there is in existence. When the chaos god known as the Grand Sorcerer sought to uncover the secrets of the future, he journeyed to the Well of Eternity. There he stared at the infinite depth of the well, unable to fully contemplate what exactly lied in the profound blackness.
A god could not comprehend what's in there, by the way. Hello?
He dispatched his most powerful and trusted lords of change into the well's swirling currents. Yet none returned from its depths. Frustrated by this failure, Tzeentch made the bold decision to cast his own vizier, Kairos, into the Well of Eternity.
He dropped his bar in there.
Miraculously, the greater demon survived the ordeal and emerged with profound knowledge of future events. But he was drastically changed. His once mighty pinions were reduced to feeble remnants of their former grandeur. His immortal form now wizened with unnatural age. He had now become hunched and frail. The most extraordinary transformation was the splitting of his head and neck into two distinct heads, each bearing the burden of both foresight and the madness it induced. Kairos Fateweaver now sits at the right hand of Tzeentch as his oracle, incessantly muttering incoherent ramblings about events that have yet to come. 9 times 9 Lords of Change are entrusted with the crucial task of transcribing every tirade and fragment of cryptic knowledge uttered by the Oracle.
The
9.
past,
The sacred number of Tzeentch.
and the future. All will be ours to see.
Enduring an eternity within the well granted the greater demon profound and unparalleled sight, revealing truths that elude even Tzeentch. His right head peers into the endless array of all possible futures, while his left head gazes into the vast history of the past. Yet these remarkable visions were not without a grave cost. Though he can see all that has happened and all that is yet to be, Kairos is rendered tragically blind to the here and now, unable to perceive the present moment as it occurs. With all that being said, Kairos Fateweaver is the mightiest of the Lords of Change, and is blessed with all the knowledge concerning the nature of fate and destiny. What sort of knowledge or mystery does the Well of Eternity store within its black depths? None can say, and it's perhaps safe to say that not us, the mortals that walk the earth, have the slimmest of hopes of ever finding out. For apparently, not even the mighty beings that we call divine and godlike have the answer for this impossible mystery.
Like I said.
I felt a surge of confidence as I moved through the vast halls of the Impossible Fortress. I knew now where I was going, and how to navigate the corridors and the passageways to get to my destination. I had the knowledge now that I drank from the chalice that I found, but alas, I am no fool. I drank just enough to get what I needed because I knew that getting too much would do me just a sip or two, and that's all I took. Suddenly I had the knowledge that I needed, but without condemning myself. Each step seemed to fall with a purpose, and the once foreign architecture now appeared familiar to me. It was as if I had acquired an understanding of this realm's bizarre ways, and I navigated its endless corridors with a new-found ease.
What is
I
the trap?
could almost hear a voice in my mind guiding me with whispers of knowledge, urging me forward.
Tzeentch.
But as I journeyed deeper, the corridors twisted and turned in ways that should have been impossible, in ways that I hadn't been able to predict, leading me into vast chambers and spiraling staircases that defied all logic. The cracks began to appear, first in the walls around me, and then in the fortitude of my own mind.
Oh boy.
Nightmares slipped through these fissures, twisting my reality into visions of madness. I saw twisted reflections of myself screaming silently as they were consumed by darkness. Shadows danced on the edges of my vision, whispering sinister truths that I desperately tried to ignore. I staggered forward, my steps now heavy with the weight of despair. The corridors echoed with taunting laughter. Laughter of my own failures and fears. As I reached for some semblance of hope, it slipped through my fingers like sand, leaving only the cold embrace of hopelessness behind.
Hopelessness.
It dawned on me that the fortress had ensnared me more completely than I had realized. The confidence I felt was a cruel trick, a delusion fed to me by the fortress itself. I realized with growing horror that I was trapped. Each step I took seemed to carry me further into the heart of the fortress, deeper into its labyrinthine grip. The knowledge I thought I had gained was nothing more than a facade. My mind screamed for escape, but my body moved forward, driven by a compulsion that I couldn't resist. The walls closed around me, pressing in with the weight of impending doom. I would join the billions of condemned souls that are forever trapped here. The fortress had become my eternal prison. In the end, I understood that the true horror of the Impossible Fortress was not its ever-changing nature, but the realization that it had stripped away all that I was in my foolish efforts to navigate it, leaving me with nothing but the echoes of my own hopelessness.
If you're eager to explore more about the mysterious and terrifying realms of chaos, be sure to check out our full coverage on this topic.
Hey.
And if the festering horrors of the Garden of Nurgle pique your interest, we have a dedicated video that dives deep into the pestilential paradise of Grandfather Nerd.
Realm of the Four Dark Gods. We are going to be checking that eventually. That'll be the 5th video, maybe. Whoa! That's a long one. Okay, maybe we might have to split that one into 2 or 4, because 2 hours is long. Or maybe we'll just make it like 30 minutes each. Meh. Split it into that. Unless they combined all the previous ones before, maybe I'll have a quick check before we jump into something that long. This has been the Impossible Fortress, and we've seen how Tzeentch's realm works out. We've seen Khorne's realm, we've seen Nurgle's realm, and that's 3 so far. So we got a 4th one to go next time. Would I survive here? Unlikely, especially because there are demons about. They may get me. But Tzeentch is known for being a wizard-like, has powers, maybe got spells. And if you look at the Total War game, they have their own lore. But I saw like on the wiki, like at the fandom, like under the categories of magic, who can use what magic. And for some reason, most of the magics can be used by a certain character in the Tzeentch. I don't know why yet. I have to check that out. But if they can use all kinds of magic and stuff, they can do a lot of things, man. So even if I got stuck there, if I could get a hold of those magic stuff, maybe I could improve the quality of living if I'm trapped around there. Hopefully, I'm not trapped in the Impossible Fortress, because it doesn't seem like the fortress that's gonna just let you go unless Tzeentch wants to let you go. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below if you got anything to say, questions you want answered, corrections you want to give, whatever it is. We are all still learning this massive setting. The Chaos Gods are unique because they fall into the realm of both Warhammer Fantasy and Warhammer 40k. But the version in Warhammer Fantasy are a bit more of a nerfed version of the gods. They're not as uber as they are in 40k, where everything is blown out of proportion, and including the gods. Some say maybe Fantasy is a prequel to the 40k, but Games Workshop have said they're already separate things. So they could be interchanging between universes, or like through the warp. Maybe the guys can go from one dimension of the 40k verse and then pop out in fantasy verse where they're somehow nerfed. Maybe they can't get through as well as they can in the 40k verse. I don't know. Things change. So that's the nature of chaos. That's the nature of the warp. That is the nature of Tzeentch. Some say Tzeentch is the most powerful god there is, but that changes a lot. The word change itself just screams Tzeentch. He used to be at one point the real most powerful guy until the other 3 gods are like, nah. And they smashed him and they broke his, somehow broke him into pieces. He formed again, but he has a lot of shards missing that he sends his demons after, at least a couple demons after it, to put himself back together again, maybe make him strong in the future. But if you're looking currently, the most likely current, most powerful would probably be Khorne, because in the grim darkness of the 41st millennium, there is only war. And who would thrive in war if not Khorne? Nurgle, maybe there's some disease and death, whatever. Slaanesh, maybe if some people are having a good time than the others, and maybe a dark time. But Khorne, 100%, 200%. I'm probably going on a tangent right now. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, share, subscribe, and see you guys next time. Peace.